Hey everyone, it's Alex, and welcome back to another Flyball Friends. I'm so glad that you could take time out of your day to be here and watch this with me. So if you guys are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure that you press that like button. It's just so that we can get this video out there and get some new people watching these videos. Today we're talking to someone on the east side of Canada, and you know, I've never met her before, but I'm glad that I did, and today it's Danielle Beauregard. Welcome, Danielle. I'm so glad that you could take time out of your day to be here with me. If you could tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey everybody, I am Danielle Beauregard and I am the team captain of Paws on Fire Flyball Club here in Ottawa, Ontario.
Awesome. And how long have you been playing for?
Oh my gosh, since 1999, so that's 21 years.
Awesome. That's a long time. Good for you.
It is.
How many dogs do you have?
I currently have 7 dogs. 2 are actively racing, 1 is in training, and then the other 4 are in various stages of retirement.
Fair enough. Okay, and what do you do for a living?
So I make dog collars for a living.
Wow, awesome.
I own a company called Fusion by Design Collars. So we do leather and biothane collars and leashes and all that kind of fun stuff.
Cool, you'll have to leave me a link so that I can put it in the description below.
Can do.
All right, so what got you playing flyball?
So it was a friend of mine. I actually wanted to play agility. I did not want to play flyball. I had no interest in flyball at all. And it was a friend of mine who said, "Oh, let's go do something fun with our dogs." And she saw an ad for flyball classes, and so she dragged me to my first flyball class, kicking and screaming. And yeah, I think before even the end of the 8-week session, I was hooked.
That's
and
awesome.
That's how it started.
That's cool. Where was the ad? In the paper?
You know what? I actually don't know. I'm assuming so, considering we're talking 21 years ago. So, the internet wasn't anywhere near as big as it is now. Yeah, it was, 20 minutes from my house. Off we went, and my dog was maybe a year old, and I really knew nothing about dog sports at that point. So I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And within a couple of years, I had multiples of dogs. I had a pickup truck, a travel trailer, and the rest is history.
That's awesome. Good for you. All right. When you first started going to like tournaments and stuff, or maybe even at some of your practices, was there a dog out there that you just loved to watch and maybe got you hooked even more?
So the dog that stands out to me is actually not a dog that was racing when I first started racing, because honestly, I was so new to the sport. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know any of the teams, anything like that. But a dog that has stood out to me through the entirety of his career was actually Aaron Robbins' Method. Method is just the coolest dog. I remember watching Can-Am live one year, and Rocket Relay had a flag, Method had a flag. I think Aaron early passed or something, and the dog came back across the start line, and he just basically cued him, didn't touch him anything. The Method whipped around so freaking fast, did his rerun, and I think they won Can-Am on that race that year. So yeah, he's always stood out to me. I love the Border Collies, I admit it. So yeah, I'd have to say Method.
That's cool. All right, so now how often does your team practice?
We practice twice a week. So we have a mini practice Thursday nights, which is mostly puppies and box work, and it's done at my building here on my property. And then we have a larger full team practice on Sundays at a larger facility about 20 minutes away.
Cool. Now,
Yeah.
Do you do anything at home to help with flyball?
So I myself, I ride my team a fair bit about fitness, because I'm a certified canine fitness trainer. I actually have 2 certifications of canine fitness, and I won't have weekend warriors on my team. So everybody, both myself and my crew, we all do a lot of just fitness training and exercise, and we follow some programs along that, including everything from cardio and strength and all that kind of fun stuff. Actual flyball training itself, I really don't do much outside of our practices. I don't see the need for it.
Fair enough. Okay, that's cool. Do you guys go to a lot of tournaments during the year?
We used to race a lot more than we do now. We used to do, 10, 12 tournaments a season, and our season here is really short. It only runs from like April to mid-September maybe.
Yeah.
But now we found that our ideal is like a tournament every 3 to 4 weeks. Works really well. It gives us a chance we're not over racing the dogs, and it gives us a chance to get some practices in and the maintenance in over the summer that we wouldn't be able to do if we were racing every weekend.
For sure.
So we've we found it makes a big difference for our dogs. But.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a good thing. Do you guys travel lots, or do you mostly just do local?
We do mostly local now. The last couple of years, we've had a lot of young dogs, so it's hard to justify the expense of doing the big travel tournaments. We do try to get to 1 or 2 away tournaments a year, and then every 2 years or so, we'll try to hit one of the championship events, whether it's Can-Am or U-Fly.
Awesome. And then what's the farthest you've been for the Flyball?
I myself, it's Vegas. I drove to Vegas. I was down in Las Vegas for a month doing a dog training course, and I had some friends in Vegas, Rachel Brinkman, who had a team down there, and while I was there was a tournament. So we went to this flyball tournament at the Las Vegas Speedway. It was complete with Elvis impersonators, the pink Cadillac, the whole bit. It was the total Vegas experience.
That's awesome.
And I ran pickup with them that weekend. So yeah, that's the part of this I've been myself.
Cool. And how far is that for you? 30 hours?
40.
40. Wow, that's very long. Good for you for making that trek.
3 dogs.
Holy man, that's a long drive.
It was. It really, really was.
All right, so when you first started playing flyball, is there something that you might have learned that you still hold true to this day?
That it's more about the people than the dogs. Basically, I mean, the dogs are great, and it's really awesome to watch, fast dogs and half-fast dogs and everything else. But for me, it's always been about spending time with my teammates and people that I like. And it doesn't matter what dogs you have, fast or slow. If you don't get along well or like the people that are on your team, you're not going to enjoy the sport. We just spend way too much time together. We spend way too much time on top of each other on racing weekends. We have to actually like each other, because otherwise it's just not going to go well.
So true. So very true. Out of all your dogs, or maybe even other dogs that you've raced, is there one of the dogs that you enjoyed running over any of the other ones?
I've been really, really lucky with my personal dogs to have some really great dogs over the years. So it's kind of really hard to pick one. Of my current dogs, probably my Border Staffy Whippet Walker would be the one that I have the most fun with. And he came to me a little later. He was 3 years old when I got him, but he's definitely a mama's boy, and he loves to run for his mom. And yeah, so he's my favorite right now.
That's cool. Good for you. All right. Is there any place in the world that you'd love to still go, whether it's compete, train, or even just watch?
I'd love to go over to Europe, over to either to the European Championships or even in the UK to see some of the racing there. They have a bit of a different flavor to flyball than what we see here in North America. And I think it would just be really, really cool to see some of those teams over there race and just see their style of flyball.
That's for sure. Yeah. All right. And what exactly do you like about playing flyball?
I like the team aspect. I mean, training my dogs is great, but I can train my dogs by myself. There's a lot of individual sports that I can do, by myself. But I just love being able to train with my friends and travel with my friends and just have a good time. And I mean, I've met so many great people in the sport who've become friends, and they're all over North America. And that to me is really what makes flyball so different from other dog sports, is that team aspect and that social aspect as well.
Awesome. Okay, now is there one team out there, or maybe even just a person that you just love racing against?
Good question. I think it's for me, there's so many great teams out there, it's hard to really just pick one. It's the ones that give you a run for your money, the ones that you're literally, looking at the lights to see what comes on, to see who won, and the teams that show the really, really good sportsmanship, that have the smiles on their faces no matter what, that are, sitting there and congratulating each other and taking pleasure in everybody's successes, sometimes whether it's debuting a young dog or anything like that, and they're right there with you and they're cheering you on, as much as your own teammates are. Those are the teams that I really, really enjoy racing. Here in Ottawa, our biggest, I guess, rivals, although I mean it's all in good fun, would be Muscle Memory. We tend to be very closely matched. And it really comes down to who makes more mistakes as to who wins the races. So it's pretty fun racing them, you know, here on the local circuit. But yeah, it's hard to pick just one.
Fair enough. All right. What would be one of your earliest memories of flyball?
My very first tournament. It's a wonder I still play. So we drove. I hadn't played very long. My dog was super green. We drove to Collingwood, which is about a 7-hour drive from Ottawa. And the very first tournament, it was being hosted by a team back then called Cool Runnings. And there was the entire team. We rented this chalet, and then we all stayed together in this chalet. And one of the bathrooms didn't work. I got food poisoning. I was sick as a dog all freaking weekend. My dog got all of 7 points the whole weekend. Like it was just everything that could go wrong did. It was a horrible weekend. It was awful. Awful first experience. And yet 21 years later, I'm still playing. So.
That's cool. Good for you for sticking with it.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a favorite memory of flyball, whether it's on or off the race lanes?
Yeah, it's actually when my dog Rave came back to racing. So when she turned 6, she got very, very sick. And we thought we were going to lose her. And she ended up with some permanent neuro deficits. So she ended up blind in one eye, and she had a little bit of a loss of coordination in her hind end. And I wasn't sure she was ever going to play again. And yeah, that first race when we were able to get her back playing, guaranteed there was tears in my eyes that day. And she actually played up until she was 12 years old. So she played another 6 years, got her Iron Dog, got her NAFA Flyball Dog Grand Champion. Yeah, the whole bit. Ended up doing a couple more, you know, big championship events and stuff. So that would be it, was when she came back to racing, because I was sure she wasn't coming back.
Well done. Good for you for sticking with that and getting it back on the racing lanes, and congratulations on all those titles and everything.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Now, do you have any personal goals playing this sport?
For the club personally, we're staring down 14s. So we had hoped to do that this year, but obviously this season is done. So hopefully a couple of our young dogs will be up and ready next year, and we'll have an even better chance of it. And really, it's just to keep having fun. I just really like hanging out with people, and, you know, hopefully growing the sport, continuing to grow the sport in our area as well, and trying to bring new people in all the time, because some of us are getting a little old.
Do you do anything specifically to try and get new members or anything like that?
So for our club, we don't. I am very protective of the dynamic that we have on our club. We're lucky that we have a really good group of people. I have a lot of long-time members, so I'm pretty picky about who gets to come and play with us, only because I just like the size of the club and the management stuff. But we do classes on a regular basis, and I always try to host at least 2 seminars with outside trainers and that kind of stuff to promote the sport, even if we're not necessarily recruiting.
Awesome. Good for you. Now, do you have anyone that you look up to in flyball as a mentor? Maybe it's now, or maybe even when you first started.
I've been lucky to actually be able to train with some really great people in the sport. Obviously, being in Ontario, Kelly and Aaron Robbins are big players in the sport, and they've revolutionized training, flyball training anyway, over the years. Other people that have really helped me along have been Connie Skulski. She's on Root Dogs in Michigan. More recently, Joe Lamont in the UK. We brought him over in the fall. And so we got to see a little bit of a different twist on some stuff, and there were some really cool aha moments there. So probably those kind of groups of people are the ones that have influenced me the most as far as the sport. And they're all, they're all great. They've all become friends, which is awesome. So those are probably the ones that I look up to the most. Oh, and I do remember when I very first started, this is how long I've been in the sport, Spring Loaded had training DVDs.
Yeah.
I think it was a series of 3 DVDs or something. I have those.
That's awesome. Good for you. I'm amazed you still got those. Those are a long time.
I do. Not carrying my phone. Yep. Yeah.
All right. So do you have any hobbies outside of playing flyball?
You can't hear it, but I live on a farm. the farm keeps us pretty busy. We have 57 acres here, so I get to, we're going to be shearing sheep this week, and I've got some horses, so ride horses, and then of course hike the property and whatnot with the dogs. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. That's cool that you got that much land.
I love it.
Okay, so now would there be anything that you would recommend to someone starting out in flyball?
Yeah, don't get blinded by the fast dogs and the fast teams. It's really, really cool to watch the elite teams play, but they're really a small portion of the club. You can absolutely, or of the sport, I mean, you can learn from them, absolutely, but the reality is that the largest portion is going to be grassroots people. It's not teams that are running 14s and 15s. So find a team that has the same type of philosophy towards the sport that you do, and that it's people that you like, because like I said, you're going to be on top of each other a lot. So you actually need to get along with them and like them. Don't just go for the flash. It doesn't last. Good
for you. All right. Now the fun one. Is there someone I could get you to challenge to do this with me?
Oh, that, you know what? So as you know, I had to think about this because everybody I kept coming up with had already been challenged. So my challenge is going up to Sacha Dupont-Hébert, and he is the team captain of Crazy Dogs, just on the South Shore of Montreal.
Awesome. Okay, I will reach out and hopefully get in contact with them, and hopefully we'll get them on here. So thank you for doing that. Other than that, I have nothing else on my end, so I'm glad that you could take time out of your day to be here. And
my pleasure.
At some point, I'll see you on the racing lanes.
It sounds good.
Thanks again, Danielle, and hopefully everyone loved this video. And if you did, make sure you press that like button, because I want to see tons of likes on this video. If you guys are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and still make sure that you're hitting that notification bell too, so that you're getting all the latest videos that go up. And hopefully, if you guys would like some more information on Danielle's team, check out the link below. Everything is there that you want to see. And if you need more information just on flyball, if you want to find a team or anything in your area, there's also links in the description below. If you guys really, really, really want some more, make sure that you keep watching these videos. Until next time, see you then.